Hello everyone, Striker here. Today we're gonna take a look at a free PS Plus game for the PlayStation 4, namely Skulls of the Shogun. It's a turn-based strategy game. The game is based in a Japanese version of the afterlife. In the living world you are on the verge of becoming a shogun, but then you get killed by an unknown person. You arrive in the afterlife where they don't treat you with any respect. Of course, this great general isn't all too happy with that, and he's the first one to stand up to whoever is ruling this afterlife. He quickly forms a band of renegades that will help him fight the great injustice in the underworld. But quickly, you, General Akamoto, learn that someone has stolen your identity in this afterlife. And so the mystery begins. And that's all I'll say about the story, since I don't want to spoil anything. But now onto the actual gameplay. You'll command a small army throughout the game. This army will mainly consist of you, the general, infantry, cavalry and archers. Each have their strengths and weaknesses. The archers are great at attacking from a distance. This has an extra benefit, namely that your enemy can't counterattack you. Counterattacks are a big thing in this game, and they can be your downfall. Basically, whenever you attack or when your enemy attacks you, the other side will do a counterattack. While less powerful than an initial attack, it still does some damage. As I said, archers have the advantage of not being counterattacked. But watch out, if you attack an enemy archer, it will counterattack your archer. But if you attack an enemy archer with cavalry or infantry, it won't counterattack you because you are too close to them. There is another way to prevent counterattacks, and that is a so-called spirit wall. You form a spirit wall by standing close to allied units. Whenever your unit or an enemy's is in a spirit wall, it will be surrounded by a glow. Spirit walls have also another function, preventing knockbacks. Infantry and cavalry can knock back enemies. Knockbacks are very useful because it can be a shortcut to killing an enemy. You can knock back enemies over edges and it will be an instant kill. But of course, enemies can do the same to you. So whenever you're close to an edge, be sure to stand in a spirit wall. Actually, forming spirit walls with your unit is always useful and a good practice. You'll start each battle with an assortment of these three base classes. Of course, you can also command your general, but be careful, if your general dies, you will always lose. That's actually your only condition to win. Your general has to survive. When fighting another general, both will start a match by meditating, and by doing so they will gain 1 health each turn. You can wake your general up at any time, but beware that you can't put it back in a meditating state. But the game has more gimmicks than this. The first gimmick you'll learn about is eating the skulls of your enemies. This will restore your character's health. It even adds health if you are already full health. But it doesn't stop there. If you eat 3 skulls, you'll become a demon. If you are a demon, you can perform 1 more action. Normally you can just attack once with a character, or eat 1 skull, or haunt 1 specific thing. We'll come to haunting soon enough. So being a demon gives you a big advantage. Now I said in the beginning that it's a turn-based game. And now you might be wondering, how long does a turn last? You can command up to 5 characters in a turn. Each character can perform 1 action, unless of course it's a demon, then it can perform 2. The game is divided roughly in seasons. Each season contains 4 missions. Now with each season a new character is introduced. These are called monks. They are sort of a magician. In principle, these monks are neutral. A monk joins a team if you haunt a specific shrine. Now what is haunting? As I said before, it's also an action. If you perform this action with a unit, it won't be able to move anymore that turn. It also can't counterattack, so be careful when you haunt something. Your next turn, the shrine will be yours and you'll get a certain monk. But don't leave a shrine all defenseless, because if your enemy successfully haunts a shrine that is giving you a monk, that monk will die immediately. Now what kind of abilities does a monk have? The first monk you'll encounter is a healing one. It will obviously heal you. Another will spit a ranged fire attack. But when your monks eat skulls, they will learn new spells. A monk can learn 3 more spells, in total giving you 4 spells per monk. The third and the fourth spell cost you rice. Now you're probably wondering, how do we get rice? You can get rice by haunting a rice paddy. Once haunted, it will give you 25 rice per turn. A rice paddy has also a secondary function. It can heal your units if you leave them on it. Rice itself has also another function. You can also haunt so-called soldiers' shrines. In these shrines you can buy new reinforcements with rice you collected. Those are probably the most important gimmicks in the game. Now, how does the game actually play? Because I've been explaining how the game works, but how does it play? Is it fun? It certainly is a lot of fun, but beware, it isn't easy. It certainly isn't a game where you could just do whatever you like and come out on top. At least I found it to be challenging. Maybe that's just because I suck in strategy games. The only thing I was afraid of was that the game would get repetitive quite easily. But that isn't actually the case, because the game adds a new monk every season, giving it a possible new strategy every time. Even the missions vary slightly. It isn't always the goal to kill the enemy general, sometimes you have to get to a certain point or just kill all the units in an area. That all being said, I feel that the campaign sometimes throws you somewhat an unfair challenge, mainly by just spawning units behind you out of nowhere, though that doesn't happen too much. There also is a multiplayer. While it is fun, it's not as viable as the single player, just because there aren't a lot of games to join. Most of the time there aren't even any to join. And I almost forgot to mention one of the best things of the game, dialogues. It's really funny and does crack me up from time to time. So all in all, it's a very fun and enjoyable game, and if you are into strategy games, you should definitely give this one a try. That was it for this review. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a comment or a like, and if you are curious about what is to come next, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.